Hey guys, this is Intuitive Anthony giving you another YouTube video. This one I got off online today. It's about, I guess, the direction of Michael Jackson's estate after winning several victories in court. Hey guys, this is Intuitive Anthony doing another YouTube video. Pardon me, this video is about the next direction of the Michael Jackson estate after winning several victories in court. But before we get into this video, guys, and start going over the content and chewing the fat as we speak on this particular topic, which I have of great interest in, please hit the subscribe button, guys. Hit that thumbs up, the notification bell, so that you can be notified when content comes out. It's afternoon, it's about 3 o'clock. I have my vlogging set on and my overhead light on. And for some reason, I'm still coming out a little dark. But, hey, whatever. This information about the Michael Jackson estate is something that I've been keeping my eye on. Because I have been watching how they have been trying to destroy our black artists, even in death. And anybody else who has melanin in their skin should kind of be keeping one eye on things like this. You know, even if particularly it's not so much about the artist, because the artist is gone and we let them rest in peace, but we keep an eye on what kind of maneuvers they're doing to discredit and to take away from the accomplishments of brown and melanated people. This has always been a thing throughout history, so I kind of keep an eye on it. So I'm gonna give you the story and then give you my understanding while we're going through it. Okay. After court victories, Michael Jackson's estate eyes revival. The first priority is to revive the Circus Soleil show Michael Jackson, one at Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino in Las Vegas. Now, this one is that Wade Robinson was, I believe, trying to get with the Circus Soleil after Michael died, because a parasite needs a host to feed off of. And since Michael's not above ground, what he wanted to do was feed off of any of the legacy and things that Michael had. And because Michael wasn't there to be overly nice to him and kind to him, everybody else don't see him as a everybody sees other intentions within him. And even dealing with Brandy, who he was dating at the time, the way he handled past relationships gives you an indication of the character of a person. And I mean, that was some real scumbag type shit to do. Just laying it out there. Come on, girls. That's the cat. It's a real scummy bear way to behave. And people in my generation will know about the gummy bears, but anybody that does some shady, underhanded, prefer to call him a scummy bear, because there's no level to the level of scum that was just when you pick up a wooden block outside, there's bugs and maggots and things underneath, or mealworms, or whatever they call them. You got to look at those kind of predatory type behaviors, especially when you're dealing with people who make a living on saying and doing things to be perceived in the public's eye in a certain way. Some people do it for the right reasons, like Michael, Janet, artists that had something to say, didn't give in to the slander, the gossip, and all of that backbiting and treacherous and deceitful behavior like some of these other artists. I don't even need to mention them by name, because I don't want to give parasites like that a voice. Not even on my channel. I mean, they probably had the attention of the world, because how could somebody be that morally reprehensible? Anyway, let's get to the story. Michael Jackson's musical legacies never left, but a kind of comeback is coming with a series of court victories that bring an end to serious legal crisis, with a Broadway show beginning and a Circus Soleil show returning after a long pandemic pause. The Jackson business is on the upswing 12 years after the pop star's death. So HBO's getting that ass sued. Probably already, if not mistaken, we might find out in here. I might have already lost. I know they had a setback, and that was the last time I kept up with it. But hey, very recently things look grim. The 2019 HBO documentary Leaving Neverland raised child molestation allegations anew. The once dead lawsuits brought by the two men in it had been revived by changes in the law and a decision in the estate appeal of the $700 million tax bill was taking years to arrive. This was I was always optimistic. John Bronca, the entertainment attorney who worked with Jackson through many of his biggest triumphs, now serves as co-executor of his estate. The Associated Press, in an interview at his Beverly Hills home, Michael inspired the planet, and his music still does. There was never any doubt about that. There was never any doubt about this, but because they tried so ferociously to get Michael to sell that catalog, because they had did some double dealing, some underhanded stuff by having the lawyer who negotiated the contracts, the whole deal for the ATV catalog, secretly worked for Sony in the past. That's a conflict of interest. You can't work for both parties. But see, that's how they do it. They always send in a stealth agent to around you, feed you compliments, while they're also looking for ways to come at you, looking at ways to deceive you, looking at ways to get over on you. But Michael was well aware of this. I got to give that man his credit. Got to give him his credit. He laid down with those dogs out there, but he knew exactly what he was doing. He was not slipping. He was not asleep. He was not weak by no means. He may have come across that way, but he battled them to the end. And he was so ironclad and so tough in his stance that he gutted them for even more money when he was dead, which is why they wanted to cancel the estate. They never thought they were going to have to play a person with brown skin that much. Wrong again, honey, damn it. Anyway, the optimism was warranted. A succession in court decisions came. Accusers' lawsuits was dismissed in October. Yeah, you liars. Yeah, of course it is. And now you're burned. You completely burned. Oprah's burned. Gail and all of them in that little camp of black Negro spirituals that still want to be slaves in every movie and still want to keep that narrative going. All of them are pretty much burned in one. Some are burned more severely than others. Don't get me wrong. Some are burned more severely than others. But give it time. Give it time, because now the dew's off that rose. Now we see that, that rose may look pretty, but when you start looking at it a little more, it's around a pile of shit. And all the roses in that garden, all them Tyler Perrys and Gales and everybody who works in these kind of groups and works with these kind of motives and intention, they're all sitting in the same flower garden together. And all around the bottom of those flowers is the same shit that everybody else is seeing. And at a time, we can only pick off so many at a time. First come, first serve. And by the level of what Wade them tried to do, they ass moved right up to the chopping block. Let's go ahead and dust that off. And I'm pretty sure they're burned irrecoverably. They can't go anywhere else. Their name is stigma is tied to a failed attempt at a cash grab of a dead man's estate. You don't get any more reprehensible than that. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. It's like the morals of a maggot. Like, how low can you go? Like, at what point is your breath in your body account for anything? That's the worst kind of human being. That's the worst kind of human being. So I'm pretty sure their failing careers, that there's nothing else for them. They know that. And the Jackson family ain't having it. Ain't having that. See, Michael was in the business of being nice. I understand that. I was that way for many years. Many years. I was really nice like that. Unfortunately, he's gone. But his family has stood by him through everything they put him through. So they may have to behave one way in public, but that does not change how they feel. So Wade Robinson and James Safechuck, y'all can't come over there thinking y'all gonna smile and grin y'all way into something. No, no. You call a spade a spade. But their case is that the one's accusers lawsuit was dismissed in October. The others was tossed out in April. And in May, the ruling in their tax case slashed the bill dramatically because they overcharged Michael's estate. See, they come at you many different ways, and when you're an artist with brown skin, they take the gloves off. So not only do we have to be very vigilant about everything that they're doing to certain people and trying to move us into certain categories. Now, don't get me wrong, every black artist is not someone that should be supported, because a lot of them have given up their moral compass and have completely become whores for a dollar. They will say anything, do anything. They will troll and say stuff just to get a reaction, just to get their name in headlines, because they don't care about their people. They don't care about anything but their own pockets. Michael wasn't one of those people. We got a couple of other entertainers. We got a bunch of entertainers out here that will say anything that will just lead you to the slaughter, as long as it gets their name in the headlines and they can make money. There's a lot of people on the tip of my tongue, but if you look through my channel, you'll see who I'm talking about. I'm not giving them no airtime. That way their has been washed up asses is not getting no feeding time off of me. Sorry. The estate suddenly stands nearly clear of a dozen years of disputes. That means Bronca expects that in the next 18 months it can finally be taken out of probate court and turned into a trust for Jackson's 3 children who are now adults. And the focus of the estate can now shift back to presenting Jackson to the world. Before I continue, guys, there's one thing that kind of worries me. I'm a little bit worried about Paris, because I just recently heard about her and her friendship with Paris Jackson, with friends with Paris Hilton. And Paris is another terrible person. And those racist comments she made using the N-word and those derogatory terms she made about gay people, I don't care about the gay people situation, because it is what it is. I'm sorry. Me and a person like her have nothing in common. So what she's saying, I've said a lot worse things about her myself. So I could care less what she think about gay people. But the fact that Paris Jackson's dad was black and will forever be black, and the fact that she can sit around her in good conscience, knowing that she said some unsavory things about brown people, I think her attention to be liked might be overshadowing some judgment calls. But time will tell. You know, everybody's young. They have their life to live. It just might be something that in time she may start to pay more attention to. The first priority of the revival of the Cirque du Soleil shows Michael Jackson one at the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino in Las Vegas is slated to reopen August 19th after the coronavirus closure nearly a year and a half ago. In time for a major celebration, they are planned for Jackson's August 29th birthday. Mine is on the 7th, so that's kind of one of the cool things about Mike. When I was growing up, we had his birthday in the same month. Mine was on the 7th, his was on the 29th, which was almost a multiple of 7 and 4, 28, but I was one day off. But that was just something that, I could enjoy and kind of, give me somebody out there in the world that I could see outside of the people that I were around. That was somebody that was doing something, that had something to offer, that wasn't conditioned and broken by the world. The Broadway show MJ the Musical will follow quickly on its heels, the first of several planned projects. Bronca said the delay was well over a year, has happened for all of Broadway, was frustrating, and he was renewed with excitement, the musical, and shared details. It's not a chronological depiction of Michael's life, he said. It's more impressionistic, inspired by Michael's life and his music. It takes place, Michael is preparing for tour. MTV wants to get an interview. Michael's very press shy, and slowly but surely they develop a relationship and begin talking about different parts of Michael's life and get the enacted gets enacted in the show. It's just going into more of those things. I think it's good that the state's getting ready to start moving, because now that the feeding frenzy is pretty much dying down, and anybody who goes up against the Jackson estate knows that they're gonna get filleted, because we're not putting up with it. We're not putting up with it. And for those who are awake and can see what the real agenda is, they can bypass all of this bull. But finding people like that are few and far between, because some people have been so manipulated by the media and their skew of stories and how they shape a story to influence people and to give a person an unrealistic expectation, even though they have the truth but are hiding it. So it's up to everyone to think for themselves. But this is letting you know that the estate is almost done with all that frivolous garbage that has been going on. And you can't get blood from a turnip, and ain't no money coming out of that estate to no riffraffs claiming lies. Oh, I was this too and me too, and all. No. Everybody's story ain't real. And when you're dealing with a nature and a business like that, it's every man for themselves. But it is good to know that the estate is actually moving on. And I really wish, now this would be a news story I would like to see. I would like to see Wade Robinson's face crack in half when that show goes on and his busted ass ain't there. That's what I want to see. I want to see his reaction looking at a monitor, probably in a food pantry line, because he can't be touched in Hollywood. I want to see his face looking at a monitor when that show gets ready to premiere and they start doing the press for it, and he's sitting out there with nothing and nowhere to go, and no one will touch him with a 10-foot pole. Now that's newsworthy. But guys, this has been Intuitive Anthony. I'll be back with more content, guys. If you haven't, please hit the subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so that you'll be notified when content comes out, guys. Hit a thumbs up on the video, guys. I'll be back with more content. And until I talk to you again, guys, peace.